Welcome everyone, Walt Schoenborn, Director of Digital Media at scienceboard.net here at ISCT 2022. And I'm very pleased to be here with CEO of Bone Therapeutics, Miguel Forte, also President-elect International Society for Cell and Gene Therapy. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for the opportunity to share this moment with you and those that will be listening to us.
Yeah, well, I very much appreciate you sitting in, Miguel, and you know, I wanted to talk to you a little bit on the ISCT side, but I wanted to begin, if it's all right with you, speaking about Bone Therapeutics first. You know, regenerative medicine has always played a part in orthopedics in the space, but I'm trying to understand now where the market is in terms of trials and the cost of therapies within orthopedics, within regenerative medicine.
So the market is well established. It's a market of medical devices and some biologics. Yeah. We come with a proposition that complements that and takes that one step further, because it brings a therapeutic approach that really is core to the regenerative approach by bringing a cell that produces bone. The core technology is taking cells from a donor, in vitro, i.e. outside, expand them and professionalize them to make bone, and then place them at the site of the fracture as kind of cells hit the ground running, promote bone formation, form bone, and speed up the regeneration and the healing process, making patients better, faster, able to go back to work, and really kind of reduce the cost of the complications. That's where the market comes in. The market is sensitive to the cost of the complications, the cost of avoidance, ability to work, and that's where we target in terms of reducing those costs, reducing that health impact.
Yeah, and so the cost determining where things lie in, where the trials go, I guess understanding where the impacts are from a market side, is it different for bone on the one side of the pond, so to speak, the Atlantic, versus here in America in applications there?
It is a bit different, because the markets and the way medicinal products are paid are different, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a freer market with kind of wider variety of prices here. It's more centralized and concentrated because of the way it's paid in Europe.
Right.
But I'll give you one example. A complicated tibial fracture that doesn't heal costs upwards of $30,000.
Yes.
If a simple fracture costs normally under $10,000, if we're able to transform a complicated fracture into an uncomplicated fracture by using these cells to accelerate the regeneration, we're making 20,000 savings.
Right. That's what I was thinking about that when we were recently at a conference in the EU, and I was thinking about the applications with Bone Therapeutics and how it would be different in both marketplaces. Coming back to something, we were talking about delivery and top line results, but you're talking about this Phase IIB study of your allogeneic cell therapy product, Aloe B, in patients with difficult tibial fractures. You'd spoken a little bit to that, but I was wondering if you could talk more to Aloe B for us.
So these are the cells that produce bone. We have evolved manufacturing, and I know everybody talks about manufacturing. It's key. It's how you produce the product.
Yes.
We had an autologous. It's now allogeneic. It's off the shelf. It's cryopreserved. So what we have done with that product is already have 2 studies. We're not controlled, but we have shown the fact that the cells are safe and the cells produce bone in human. Yeah. So we're now conducting a study where patients that have a difficult tibial fracture, they go to hospital, they get the surgery, the bone is aligned, and then 2 to 3 days after, through a needle, non-invasive, we place the cells into the site of the fracture. And we have 2 arms, one where patients are treated with the cells, another one are treated with placebo, and we aim to see the difference, i.e. patients with the cells will get, and we have that evidence, expectedly half the time to get to the recovery. So we double the speed of bone recovery. The study is ongoing, 7 European countries, 40 sites, and we aim to have top-line results beginning of next year.
Congratulations on that. That's fantastic news. I was wondering, we talked about a little bit from the EU standpoint, we talked about a little bit from over here, and other countries as well. What about Asia? Are you guys, where's Bone?
We have a partnership.
Oh,
Very interesting. We've been 2 years over COVID. I've been in San Francisco 2 years ago, and I've been in between. I met the business development of our partners in China 2 years ago. And then we did everything, negotiated a deal, did the due diligence. They visit our factory through our phones, and were able to put in place, despite COVID, a partnership. And so, because we're a small company, we would not be able to have a presence and deal with the Chinese market.
Yeah.
So they are developing it together with us, but developing it for China, and they will eventually commercialize it in China.
That's fantastic news, and I know how difficult that could be. It's Asian markets, China alone, without the COVID situation. I mean, I can only imagine the challenges and barriers that you guys went through to get that executed. So congratulations.
Yeah, I tell you, probably the key element is to have a translator that does not translate just language, but translates culture.
Yes.
Right? It needs to be a well-adapted, good revolving door person or organization that makes sure that enables that understanding, that cultural approach, so that we can work as a team with a compounded difficulty of having to do that through flat screens.
It's incredible. I want to pivot for a second off of Bone Therapeutics, if you don't mind, and go to your position now as president-elect of ISCT. First of all, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And two questions really in two parts. How do you see the progress of ISCT, and where do you see cell and gene therapy as a sector today?
Good. So ISCT is now 30 years, right?
Yes.
That's the 30th anniversary this year. I joined ISCT more than 10 years ago, and I had a cultural shock because I came from the biologics, rheumatoid, and ISCT represented the cell and gene therapy field at the time as an emergent field. Bruce Levine, the emerging president now, coined a phrase saying, we were cute at the time.
Yeah.
We're no longer cute, or maybe still cute, but we definitely are a valid business proposition that brings value to patients and potentially will bring cures. So ISCT has grown with that,
Yes.
establishes a relationship between those that generate ideas and do initial research, academia, those that develop the product and do the translation, industry, and those that assess the product and enable them to go to the market, the regulators. And that, again, we are a society, by bringing all that together, we network, we share experiences, we all together develop products that bring value to patients.
Yes.
The field has evolved from, as I said, initial research to clear products on the market. We are seeing presentations referring to thousands of patients with treatment that was unthinkable 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That is giving us an opportunity to understand that the field is really about patient access, about usage on the market, about industry. And so that's why, I mean, one of the reasons, myself representing simultaneously academia, as my roles in academia, but also as a CEO of an industry, to bring ISCT to represent further and further that industrial perspective. And ISCT is growing, is leading that challenge, and is a particular place not only to have fun about science, to contact with the partners, but above all, see that vision of the value that we're increasingly giving to patients. And we're talking about the cure. I'll take one step further. What we are now doing is, with the gene and the cells, we are engineering cells for a therapeutic purpose. We're professionalizing the cells through the technologies that we have to really mend the body, correct disease, treat disease, and really establish a cure through that.
I can only say from being here, I know this is the first time that, I think since 2019 in Melbourne, the ISCT was actually in person, and the last 2 years have been virtual. I want to say congratulations to you, first of all, on the position, but second of all, for just having a really great event happening this week. It's been a real treat for me to see all the collaborations, the partnerships, the engagements, the sessions. The attendance has been fantastic. The companies that are here have been elated with, the amount of people that they've been able to speak with. So it's great to be in person again, but it's also great for cell and gene therapy, and ISCT 2022 has just been a fantastic event so far. So I want to say thank you very much for sitting down, Miguel, and I appreciate your time, and I know how busy you are.
Can I say something as well? Can I thank you for actually carrying this message, right? Because I think it's important how we share the things, how we collaborate, but it's very important that that sense of collaboration, the ideas that emerging, the discussions we're having are reflected out there beyond the meeting by people like you and meetings and vehicles like this. So thank you to you as well.
Well, I appreciate it. We play a small part, but I love that we're able to bring discussions like this to some of our audience and membership people that are at home. We'd love for everyone to be here, but for those that can, it's great that you're able to sit down with us and be able to share some of your insights. So thank you again.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone. We appreciate it. Miguel Forte, thank you very much, everyone, and take care. We'll see you soon.